Walker, and this is Basketball Talk Pro. I'm really kind of excited about this week, and I'll tell you more about that later. But I'm also very excited about this particular video. You know, last time we took you through cutting with a screen and showed you a lot of things that we had already showed Basketball Talk Pro, but not always the people that were watching last time. And we did not use film in that one because we had used it in October 1st, 3rd, and 5th of last year, almost a year ago. But this time we have film. And I feel fortunate because I really had kind of lost track of the fact that we had film. And then I found it, and so this is film that's never been seen before. This is the first time it's ever been shown. And I guess that speaks kinda to the subject, because cutting without a screen is kind of a hidden type of maneuver. Even though everybody knows what we're talking about, not a lot of people spend a lot of time at it. They don't design their offense for it, for one thing, and they don't show their players how to do it. Give them some experience at doing it. And so I think the film work is going to help, that you can see some of the drills, though they're very simple drills. But simple drills, many times, most of the time, for me, all the time, the simpler the drill, the more I get out of it, and the more the players get out of it. So I think you'll get some new and interesting advice on this film. Now let's take a look at cutting without a screen. You do it all the time. We start our offense, half-court offense, every time with a cut without a screen. And we find it very hard to defend that. Well, for one thing, here's one thing cutting does. It negates ability and size. Any player, with hardly any ability compared to the rest of the players, by cutting, can be an effective player on your team. Chances are he's going to score because it's just, you get such easy shots if you do it right, but you also, by cutting, create many openings for your teammates. And so I think it's good that you know that anybody on your team, if they learn how to cut, will get open for shots. It puts, and the second thing I want to mention is it puts incredible pressure on the defense. It's hard, very hard, to follow guys around over, cutting into the post up, cutting down the baseline, cutting to the free throw line, cutting to the top of the key, back cutting, all the things that you can do, and with just by cutting and being alert to cut. The defense has to play very tough, and it has to play it for the whole game, or they're going to be in trouble. And so it's good to learn. It's something that really can help your team, and it takes away physical play. I always tell our team, it's hard to be physical when you're chasing a guy. Or if you're moving, it's really hard to be physical. When you see this pushing and shoving and almost like two elephants at war with each other, refusing to even move their feet, that's where you see physical play. You don't see much physical play when a guy's cutting. Now, some of it is, yeah, but it doesn't really affect anything. And so I showed you film between Indiana and Miami, and what cutting did in that game changed the game when they finally decided to do it. And it made a much better game of it. Cutting does a couple other things. One, I mean, not one, I'm on four, I guess. It opens up for drives. When people are cutting, moving, the defense has a tendency to move up on their man and play very tight and give that man all their attention. So openings appear because of that movement, which is created by cutting. And this gives you a lot more opportunity to drive the ball to the basket or drive the ball into the two-step area for a jump shot. It opens up that kind of a game, and it opens up the second thing, and that is offensive rebounding. You're not going to get blocked out if you've been cutting. This just opens up holes in the defense that offensive rebounders can move into and get second shots or second opportunities for their offense. Take away defensive rebounds for the other team. It just does that. Now, I know we're in an age where people kind of looking down their nose at offensive rebounding, but you win a lot of games with offensive rebounds. Let them do that running back stuff. You go in and grab the ball and put it back in the basket. You don't need to run the floor then. This will open up a lot of opportunities for you. Now the film work is something I talk over. Sometimes we make some mistakes in the film work. Sometimes this particular film was done the first practice that we had with this college group. And they were learning too, the film people. We had two film people there. And thankfully, one that was up high kind of caught on, though the angles aren't so good all the time, but it's good film. You can see everything very clearly, and the reason we use it this way is it's a little hard to hear my voice when it's up high. The guy on the floor has the microphone, but his particular film work that day was very, he does commercials, so he was trying to make it look like Hollywood. I wanted film that showed what we were doing. So now I think the best thing I can do for you is let you go and see the film, and remember, though the drills may seem simple, they're very effective, and your players actually, I've always found the players like these drills. Kind of a break. They can really show their quickness, show their movement, and they get into a rhythm, and pretty soon they're just really moving and cutting well. And so take a look at this film. This was the first day of working with this particular group. They're all college players, but they're learning a new drill. And this is the only time we ran all week long the cut drill because we had a lot of things to cover. I would like to point out one thing first here. I don't know why on that particular day I started the line in the middle. Usually I like to have it off to the side, like when we enter on cut. So you may want to remember that. I think it'll be easier for your players. But we just now we'll see a little bit of instruction here. It doesn't hurt you to maybe watch a little of this. I'll try to keep it from getting too long. It's a very simple drill. But we still have to spend time teaching what we want. And we're just teaching some simple footwork here, both whether we go towards the ball or away from it. It's really a give and go. Hard to defend, though, very hard to defend. That was not, some of these are not good footwork on yet. Cut, well, there was a good one. That was pretty good. This is all we do, but this is what you do in a game. I just wanted them to get used to cutting and going right to the basket for the layup. A lot of times players forget to do that. But uh, it just depends on from one player what his background was. And this was early on, and we were just kind of watching things go. But this is the first drill that we run, and trying to get them to think about cutting when they pass, making that second nature, and concentrating on the shot. Actually, you'd be surprised. Uh, a lot of times, players are nonchalant in some of these drills, um, and they don't really focus on the shot. We try to make that a point of emphasis. Now we're going to just switch sides. Got to learn how to do it from both sides. We always have a coach pass on this because I want the uh, players to get a good pass, and so that they can really work on this simple skill. It may be simple, but in a game situation, it's difficult to defend. I don't care whether where you're playing, whether it's youth basketball or the NBA. It's a difficult cut to defend. Now you can add a change of pace, and some other things as you go along, but get the basics down. This makes them aware that there is such a cut, and so uh, they're likely to start doing it in a game or in practice at least, and then in a game. What I'm doing is showing them, uh, trying to demonstrate for them, but the pass across is important in this drill. I always tell them to show bounce passes. But this is a pass, a cut that you would make like on a backdoor cut, coming to the top, which a lot of times we're in our offense, especially in Monk offense, and getting overplayed at the top of the circle. And we want our players to really recognize that, and don't hesitate. Make that backdoor cut. It'll pay off. And we just allow it. It never screws up our offense. We just think this is worth it. You got to really plant that outside foot and drive off of it. I would be telling them that right about now. Again, though, it's a matter of awareness, understanding that this is something you can do, and a concentration on what you're doing, especially on the shot itself. And then we switch sides, not difficult. See, well, I'm trying to show them what they're what they're looking for. I don't like too much of this. I just do it once in a while to kind of
make them aware of the situation that we're looking at. This is what cutting is. Without the advantage of a screen now, it can come anywhere on the floor. But you still have to command your footwork and your concentration and your awareness. This is the third third cut that we work on. We have more. They are in the book, but for this particular day, with this group, I just did three, and that's a pretty good way for you to start with your players, and then add as you go along. We have cuts for coming across into the post up, coming baseline from the weak side. All of those cuts so the players get a real feel for it. This is if you're being overplayed at the wing. Now you can keep fighting that if you're overplayed at the wing, but you really slow down and break up your offense. So what we teach is if you're overplayed at the wing, don't hesitate. In fact, I tell them in the film, don't hesitate to make that backdoor cut. We have ways of adjusting after if that kind of breaks down the play, but we have ways of handling that, but you don't see it now. The big thing is that players tend to come out at the wing and keep muscling and pushing and working to get the ball, and it just slows things down. We like movement, so we want them to back cut it, and then we start into whatever we're doing. We can do this off of our cut one, we can do it off of monk offense, either way, but they have to know how to do it. So I'll let this go now, and you can see how how it I'm going to mute the voice there. It gets a little bit noisy when I'm talking, and well, I'm the same guy. But now we weren't watching this very closely. You have to let your players have a chance to just try and practice. We had told them to make sure you come out higher here, a little bit higher, get more space back in there. Um, that isn't, you can get by with that, but it isn't what we're really looking for. In a time, we get them to do that. In fact, right now, I'm going to tell them that. I'm pretty sure. That's still the beginning of the next film. So now we'll take a look. I'm going to cut this one off, and we'll take a look at it a little bit more in detail as we go along here. Okay, you'll see we Coach made uh, you know, help them with getting out a little higher on before they make the cut, and this gets more space in this area. So we'll see now in just a short clip what we're talking about. I think you'll see the players are doing a little bit better job, not quite what we want. That maybe was a little bit short. You run out of film there, but uh, now that came out higher. I figured he would do it good because he just listens well. Some don't. That was a pretty good one. Uh, but it's just practice. like anything else, you just have to keep working at it until uh, you get good at it. But if you never practice it like this, uh, I like to throw this drill in. Players like it. They, we get 5 minutes. We can go through at least one of the types of cuts. Sometimes we can get two in. Within 10 minutes, we can usually get three or four in, and just keep at that all year long, and you'll see in the games. You're going to see some improvement and easy baskets a lot of times. Now that doesn't work every time, but when it works, usually end up getting a very easy basket. Don't underrate the ability to cut. Everything you do offensively should be centered around that. Defending that is tough. It's easy here to to defend standing or slow movement or things that you know are going to happen that are predictable. But when you have players doing this kind of thing, the defense isn't up to that. Not many, at least. So that's it for our cuts without a ball. And I think you'll find if you practice this, it'll be very helpful to you.
Well, there you saw three types of cuts. The back cut, really the back cut on the wing and the back cut over the top. That back cut over the top, at the top of the key, is very effective. And so you got a chance to see some ideas on cutting. That cut that the passer passes and cuts, tremendous. That can really open up the defense for you. So that closes that aspect of it. I just want to mention to you, this is video number 143. We got an anniversary coming up. On Thursday, September 18th, we put out our first video, the very, very first one. Mainly, I went to my, my email people. So we started very small, and but it's been an adventure. And we're going to do a lot of things with that anniversary. We'll have some more announcements for you, but I'm excited about the whole week. That'll be a special video.